It's your boy, and we're back with another Master Duel video. Today I figured I'd bring something a little bit different. I'm bringing a beginner guide to my favorite archetype in the game, Zoodiacs. I personally believe that Zoodiacs are a great budget option. If you're looking to make another deck, you want it to be, somewhat decent at least, and you need it to be cheap. Right now, the list that we're looking at is just a list of a ton of cards that you can get really easily. The only two ultra rares that you have to craft in order to play the deck are one Zoodiac Trident and one Divine Arsenal AA Zeus. It gives you a play going first and a play going second, and Trident is the heart and soul of the Zoodiac archetype. So why should you pick this up? It's very easy to play. It's very beginner friendly. I highly recommend this archetype to play if you're new to Yu-Gi-Oh! It'll be very easy to get into playing the game with. It has, honestly, a stronger going second strategy than it does going first. And you can kind of build it for going first as well. It's going to kind of depend. This list that I'm showing is like a list that can do decent going first and do pretty decent going second as well. I play 3 copies of the 2 super rare hand traps that I think are pretty good. Duel and Lockbird is one of the best hand traps in the format right now, and banishing things out of your opponent's graveyard is pretty dang good. You can get Monster Reborn and Regeki from the solo mode missions. And personally, I believe that a deck is budget friendly when it plays few ultra rares in order to play the deck at the bare minimum. Super rares, I feel like, are relatively easy to come across and don't really go into play as much when considering whether or not the deck is very budget. So, as you can see, we play, regardless, a decent number of staples that are rare. We have Book of Moon, Forbidden Chalice, Torrential Tribute, Compulsory Evacuation Device. I think all of these are pretty strong. If you can think of another one, be my guest. These are kind of like just fill spots. And in total, we play the Kaijus because they're very strong going second. They're going to be a card that'll help you just get rid of these insane boss monsters that have like an insane number of effects. You can just tribute it off the board and hopefully it's no longer an issue. These days, Kaijus aren't quite as strong just because a lot of cards have graveyard effects these days, and it doesn't stop that. But it will get it off the field without you activating an effect for them to negate. It just completely takes it off the field. It's very nice. Pot of Desires is very strong in the deck because all you need to see is a single Zoodiac name, and you're off to the races. Cosmic Cyclones for some back row removal. And then Fire Formation Tenki is part of the list. If you're not going to play all these staples, fully understand, but you really do need to play Tenki at 3. It searches any Zoodiac name to your hand. It's your main searcher. Your only searcher, really. Play 1 of the normal trap Zoodiac combo. This is pretty nice because you can pitch it with Ratpier on normal summon. Only normal summon, by the way. You can send any Zoodiac card. So you'll either send a monster like Ram or you'll send a Zoodiac combo. And in Grave, you can recycle 5 different Zoodiac names and add them back to your deck. A lot of times you're just going to be recycling your extra deck monsters, so you can continue playing the game and outgrinding your opponent. The extra deck is very simple. We're playing our 2 boss monsters, our Trident for going first, or Zeus for going second. Zoodiac's one of those special decks that can really abuse Zeus, and we can put an immense amount of materials under it. What makes Zoodiac, what its gimmick is, what makes it unique, is that you can just stack Xyz on top of each other. You can just have any Zoodiac name, normal summon it, and then put any Xyz name, any Zoodiac Xyz name on top of it. And you can just keep doing that with every single name once per turn. And you can go through all the names immediately, and then you can put Zeus on top of it. And then Zeus is not once per turn. By discarding 2 materials, you attempt to wipe the board. It's a quick effect. You can chain on himself. It's crazy. So you can get up to 3 activations on Zeus very easily with Zoodiacs. And you can do it without activating a single effect for them to negate until you get to your Zeus. How you do that is that by having Borbo out, you can attack your opponent directly. And we'll give an example game on how that works. But you can attack your opponent directly by just controlling Borbo. And then you put enough names on top of each other, go through all the names, and then you just put on Zeus. Very simple, very easy. The Zoodiac names, they all have additional effects that are applied when they're material under an Xyz Zoodiac. And you'll notice that there's question marks next to the attack and defense of the Xyz monsters. Their attack and defense are the combined totals of the Zoodiac attack and defenses as material under it. So if you have a Zoodiac Thoroughblade and a Zoodiac Ram under your Tiger Mortar, then you're going to have 16 plus 400 attack, so that's 2000 attack, and then 2k defense plus 0 defense, it'll have 2k defense. So, I mean, you know, it's an alright. I mean, they can get pretty decently big. The additional effects that are relevant here are Whiptail. Makes it to where whatever we battle with a Zoodiac Xyz, it gets banished as well. So we can use that as a way to remove monsters on our opponent's field if we can't attack over them, or just having trouble getting rid of them. And Thoroughblade gives our monsters piercing damage. So not too bad. The other one's not too relevant. You can kind of get into their additional effects. I mean, like these 2 in particular, you can somewhat abuse with other cards, but that's a little bit more complicated. But let's go ahead and go into a practice match against one of the bots, and we'll show real quick how this works. It's very simple, very easy. All we do, so we get any name, like Zoodiac Whiptail. We normal summon it. First, let's get a material that we can just easily discard, because remember, they get effects for having a name under it. One of these main deck Zoodiac monsters. So we'll discard an Xyz monster instead of the name from the main deck instead on our opponent's turn for this effect. So what Trident does, and we'll go ahead and put Trident down. See, already have our boss monster. You get to your boss monster in very few summons, and you can actually kind of express lane it a little bit. You normal summon, they max E, you just slap down Trident, pass. They only get 1 draw out of it, so it has decent plays under max E. What Trident does is that quick effect, and we can read it in blue here. Once per turn, quick effect. You can detach one material from this card, then target one face-up card on the field, destroy it. So we get to pop a face-up card on the field. Not that bad. Not that great. It's not like a negate or anything, but it's an interruption, and then we'll back it up with trap cards, right? And other cards. So we'll use like Pod Desires here, draw 2. And we didn't get anything decent off of that, but that's fine. We got follow-up. We can remove their guy, we can reborn a guy, so like it's not bad. We got 2 trap cards. They're not once per turn, so we can use both of them, and then we got our Trident Pump, so not the worst, not the greatest, but not the worst. The going second play is actually where it really comes into play. So we'll go ahead and get our going second going. We'll let our opponent, our theoretical opponent, go ahead and set up. We're playing against the 10 bot. Alright, so they special summon one, set another. Let's get our draw. And we'll go ahead and just normal summon the same one we did last game. And we'll go into Borbo. And Borbo can attack directly. See, no effect has been activated. None. Main 2, we just start putting names down. Tiger Mortar. Chalkanine. Hammer Gong. Trident. We're not done yet. One more. Zeus. And look at that. 6 materials under our Zeus. We can activate Zeus. Attempt to wipe the board. And then say they go to activate something to try and negate it. We'll attempt to wipe the board again. They go to negate it. We'll chain. Attempt to wipe the board again. It resolves. Wipe the board. Zeus is so good in this deck. We'll get triple animation there. So pretty cool, pretty nice. You only activate a monster effect whenever you attempt to wipe the board with Zeus, so that's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and back out, go back to the deck creator, or the edit deck. So, what do the other Xyz monsters do? Tiger Mortar just attaches, or it will detach a material from itself, and it will attach a Zoodiac name from the graveyard onto any Zoodiac Xyz monster on the field. So it doesn't have to be itself, it can be itself. So say you have like, you know, you have a Whiptail in graveyard, and you know that that will make it to where your Xyz monsters will be able to banish something when it battles. But you have a Ram in hand. You normal summon the Ram. You go into Tiger Mortar. You detach the Ram from Tiger Mortar, and then attach the Whiptail from the graveyard onto Tiger Mortar, and now it can banish something when it battles. So not too bad, not too bad. If you have a Trident on the field, right, and it has no material, then you can normal summon another Zoodiac, summon Tiger Mortar, detach, and reattach a Zoodiac name from your graveyard onto Trident, giving it more material, and thus you'll be able to keep popping cards. So that's going to be how you're going to be able to keep grinding on your opponent, is you're going to be able to keep attaching cards back onto your Trident as material. Chalkanine is able to revive Trident from the graveyard, or any Zoodiac name. And we can go into a little bit later how you can abuse that a little bit, but Chalk-9 revives any Zoodiac name from the graveyard by discarding a material. You can typically just revive Trident, right? And this is what you'll do. You have Trident in grave. You need Trident back out again to reset up your pop. You summon one of your names. Doesn't matter which one. You go into Chalk-9. You detach. You resummon your Trident. It doesn't have a material though, but it's okay. You go into Tiger Mortar on top of the Chalk-9. You detach a material off Tiger Mortar. Attach any name, it doesn't matter, onto Trident, and now Trident has a way to pop something again. And that's what you'll keep doing over and over again. As Trident leaves the field, you'll revive it with Chalk-9. You'll sack it with another material with Tiger Mortar. You're running out of cards in your extra deck. You can just, you know, get combo engraved, recycle 5 names back into the deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Recycle all these extra deck names back in. Resummon Trident. And you're just going to keep summoning Trident over and over and over and over and over again. It's going to be great. That's why it's not really an issue when going second and the game continuously progresses into a grind game regardless, to just use up all your materials, including your Trident, just to make Zeus. Because you're just going to bring Trident right back anyway. It doesn't matter. But what if you want to be able to take the deck a little bit further, right? What if you want a little bit more power, a little bit more versatility? What other things can we recommend if we don't want to just restrict ourselves to just these 2 ultra rares? Well, there are a number of things that you can do to upgrade the deck, actually. For starters, you could just add another Trident. Bam. Now you have 2. That's pretty nice. Not as many that you have to revive. Just slap a name down, slap Trident on it, and boom, bam, you got an interruption. You could add another Zeus, and I highly recommend it. I highly recommend this, honestly, truthfully. 2 Trident, 2 Zeus, that's very strong. I wouldn't play more. Wouldn't play more of either. It's really good right there. So, what main deck options could we recommend here? There are like 2 routes you could go here. What I would prefer, what I would recommend, is you get Terratop, Speedroid Terratop. You add 3 of those in. And then we'll go to related cards. Get Take Tomborg. Add that in. That's the main deck. And then MX Saber. You put MX Saber Invoker in your extra deck as another ultra rare to craft. And this will give you it'll give you an extender. This is a special summon. So now you aren't just locked to normal summons. You could special summon this out. Somehow you get interrupted. Bam, you normal summon a Zoodiac. You can keep playing the game. Solid. I really recommend going the Terratop line, just because MX Saber Invoker could be used in other decks as well. It's a very strong extra deck card, honestly, so it could end up proving to be pretty busted in the future. So I feel like it's a pretty good investment overall as an ultra rare. Terratop in itself is a really solid engine, used in plenty of other decks. This is overall really solid investment line right here if you're going to be looking to upgrade your deck. Other things you could do, go into the Zoodiac cards here. Zoodiac Barrage. It is an ultra rare. It is an ultra rare, and that's why it wasn't in the original list that I showed you. But this right here is what turns Zoodiac into a small, like, 5-card package in the main deck that you can run in like every deck if you wanted to. If you could cough up the extra deck room, it requires like too many extra deck cards typically to be able to be seen in a lot of decks. But Barrage basically says destroy itself, summon a Zoodiac name from the deck. Really good. Really good. If you have Dryden on the field and you do this, you could then attach this spell card, this continuous spell card, as material to your Dryden. I mean, you can attach it to any Xyz Zoodiac monster that you control when this thing's destroyed, including by its own effect. Because you have to destroy a face-up card on the field to special summon the Zoodiac. And there are times, actually, where you can destroy your Fire Formation Tenki that you already searched a Zoodiac out with, and then keep the Barrage on the field as a way to keep summoning Zoodiac names from the deck every turn, just as a way to keep grinding on your opponent. There's definitely a lot of things that you can do here to take advantage of Zoodiac Barrage, but it is an ultra rare and it's 3 ultra rares, so I don't highly recommend. I recommend it overall, I mean, as part of the overall upgrade package to make the deck a little bit stronger, but it's a very expensive option as well. It would be probably the most expensive option. Another set of cards that you could add to the deck to make it stronger are the 2 Utopic cards. It would be only 1 more ultra rare to put into the deck, but it's very solid. It gives you a very solid going first. It actually allows you to have, actually have a going first option here, really. A lot better than Dryden. It's a monster effect, so you actually, it's a monster effect negate, so you actually have a negate here. It's not guaranteed, though. It's not guaranteed. There's a little bit of a setup that goes with it. You're not able to do it with just any name, but you can do it. Highly recommend it if you're looking to upgrade the Zoodiac deck. Now let's look at probably the last card that I could recommend for the list. Megaclops. Megaclops is really solid. It is basically just a big wall that's unaffected by most things to throw at your opponent and see if they can beat it. It's not undefeatable. It's not like true towers, but it's a pretty solid towers. Really easy to make. Same way you can make the Utopic Draco Future Dragon, you can make Megaclops. So it's like another option that you have. But let's go ahead and try and show off the deck and those combos a little bit. We'll shave out a lot of these cards and just throw something in to make it 40. And we'll show off how to summon these extra deck monsters real quick. And we'll be able to show off how to kind of manipulate the Zoodiac monsters and really try and get maximum value out of them. Because they do a good amount of things. It's just, are you able to take advantage of it? Let's go ahead and find the hand we need first, so I'll get back with you on this. Alright, well, we got it immediately, so it doesn't really matter. We'll use Tenki. How you do this is you can either have Zoodiac Rapier for a normal summon, right? So we search it out with Tenki, or we just open with it. Only 4 ways to do that, right? 3 Tenkis, 1 Rapier. Or we have access to a Zoodiac Ram in hand, and we normal or special summon a Thoroughblade. So we have the Thoroughblade in hand. We can add the Ram, and ultimately this accomplishes the same thing as normal summoning Rapier. What does that do? Very simple. It's having a Zoodiac name on board and having Zoodiac Ram in the graveyard. And when you normal summon Zoodiac Rapier, you can send Ram to the graveyard from the deck. So we'll go ahead and get our combo started. This first one's going to be for Utopic Future Dragon. So we'll go ahead and immediately go into Chakanine. And we'll use Chakanine's effect to special summon Zoodiac Ram. And Zoodiac Ram's effect is that when it's destroyed on the field, it can revive a Zoodiac name, any Zoodiac name. And why is that relevant? Because Zoodiac Chakanine, when it revives a Zoodiac monster, that turn it cannot be used for an XC summon. So we can't actually put anything on top of the Zoodiac Ram. It would we could use it for link material, but we really can't do much else with it. So we'll go ahead and revive Zoodiac Chakanine, and that's very important because Zoodiac Chakanine is not once per turn. So we'll go ahead and use Tiger Mortar and attach any material onto Chakanine, and then we'll use Chakanine again and revive Zoodiac Ram. And then we have 2 rank 4s. So we'll go into Utopic Future and then immediately overlay that for Utopic Future Dragon. And that's going to be the board. That's about it. So what we have here is a monster effect negation, and if they destroy this by card effect or battle our Zoodiac Ram, we can revive another Zoodiac name, maybe Thoroughblade. And then they have to get rid of that too, otherwise we have follow-up for our next turn. So it's kind of like, you know, it's a small little something. It's a small little something. Maybe we'll see the Zoodiac name on our follow-up, maybe we won't. But let's go ahead and get into how to summon Megaclops. You know, we can Pot of Desires here and see if we get to a hand that does it. Oh, look at that. We did. Alright, so we do the same thing again. The exact same thing. Does not matter what monster you're gonna go for here. You're gonna do the exact same thing. So you're gonna get Ram in graveyard. And then you're going to revive that Ram. And we'll go ahead and turn that off. And then we'll go into Zoodiac Trident. And then we'll use Trident to pop the Ram. Its graveyard effect will activate. We'll revive the Chakanine. Go into Tiger Mortar. So we can put a material onto Chakanine. Doesn't matter which one. We'll use the Chakanine. And we'll summon Trident. And now we control 3 Xyz monsters. And we can summon the Clops. And as long as Megaclops is sticking around, its effect is we can just rip a card off our opponent's field, summon an Xyz monster from our graveyard and attach that card from our opponent's field under our Xyz monster. So we'll probably like revive our Trident and give it whatever their card is. So we get to remove a card off their field and we get our Trident back online. And so on and so forth. Not too bad. Not too bad. The Barrage and Terratop is pretty straightforward. I don't feel like I need to show off how that works. You just special summon Terratop, Speedroid Terratop, and then it'll search out Take Tomborg. You'll special summon Take Tomborg. You'll go into your rank 3 MX Saber Invoker. You'll use its effect to just summon any Zoodiac name. And then you just, you know, you go into your Trident and then so on and so forth. Very straightforward, very easy deck to play. I highly recommend it for beginners. I highly recommend the cut down list, honestly, where we don't play as many ultra rares, to as just like a fun option, you know. Very inexpensive on the low end, still inexpensive on the high end. If you invest into the barrages, then it becomes a package that you can play like 5 cards in your main deck and like 5 cards in your extra deck, and bam, you got a Zoodiac engine that's splashable. But that's going to be it for the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys found this information useful to you at all. Or maybe you just like seeing Zoodiacs, who knows. But either way, I enjoyed making the video for you guys. This is going to be the end of it. Make sure you guys leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you guys next time. Later.